You need to be secure in yourself. And that's the honest truth. You need to be secure in yourself, because if you're not secure in yourself, then that's when you start just taking anything that comes your way and trying to persuade people. This is not a job interview. You're not here to come and persuade people to be in a job with you. You're not here to come and persuade people to. This is a relationship that takes mutual effort, that takes mutual understanding. So if you're having to persuade them and say, best thing is you've made your intentions clear. It's now up to the girl what she wants to do. If she's still scared due to what's happened before in her past relationship, then she needs to go and work on herself. She needs to go and take time. And if you're ready to give her time to go and do that, then cool. You as a guy too, I don't think you should run away yet. I think you should try and support her, try and help her. But I don't think you should persuade anybody to be in a relationship with you. That's my own thing. Be confident in yourself to say, look, this is what I want. If she's happy to go with it, then fair enough. You're here. If she's not happy to go with it, then the best thing is leave it as it is. Don't be scared to walk away. This is the last one. I'm just going to put a bonus one in there. I do a living care job, and I was offered a similar job in the middle of nowhere in Scotland. They even gave me my own property. The place is like a village and so isolated, and I'm tired and bored of it. I want to come back to London. What should I do? Now, the reason why I put this one here, because this is a very common thing. Like me, I live in London. I'm from London. I'm a Londoner, basically. And I grew up in London. And for me, I would lived in other places in the UK, and I wouldn't trade London for anywhere else, really. I know some people have different mindset about London, about this, but for me, due to growing up in London, I know the opportunities that London have, and I've lived in other places, and trust me, they don't have the same opportunities, especially if you don't drive. Obviously, I drive now, so things are a bit more easier to get to. But if you don't drive in these other places in the UK, in some places in the UK, it can be very, very difficult to get to places. But in London, we have fantastic transport links, so everything is quite accessible. And London as well, it can be very expensive, to be honest with you. That's another reason why people obviously move away from London. But like I said, in terms of people in general wise, yeah, London, of course, London has its parts too. I feel like I'm doing the mayor of London's job right now. Sadiq's current job, campaigning for London. But that's truly how I feel about London. And I've lived in Oxford. I've been to Manchester. I haven't been to Liverpool, but I've been to a few places. I've lived in Leeds. And trust me, I like those places, but trust me, I wouldn't trade them for London. But anyways, let me go back to this job. This job is a living care job. Now, living care means you're working with the person, or you're working with the person that you're caring for, but you also live in their house. So you can live there maybe for like 3-4 days, then you come back home. Because this job was in the middle of nowhere in a village, obviously they've also given him his own property, which is great, because obviously it's not easy to get your own property and your own place to live, especially in the UK. But the job is in the middle of nowhere, and trust me, when your job is in the middle of nowhere in the UK, trust me, you will feel isolated. Especially if, let's say, for example, you was the only ethnic minority in there, maybe the only black person in that village, maybe the only Asian person in that village, or just an ethnic minority. You're just a minority in the village, because especially if it's in a village in Scotland, generally, I might be wrong, but I'm sure you see more Scottish people. For that reason, you feel very isolated. And the person that even gave me this, he said he was very isolated. He was so isolated that he said he wanted to come back to London. For me personally, it's really up to him what he wants to do. Personally, I wouldn't accept a job in the middle of nowhere just like that. Number one, like I said, if you don't drive, then it can be quite difficult to get to places. That's number one. Number two, because you're ethnic minority already anyway, to form friendships and relationships there, it can be quite difficult, because first of all,